terrible job at filming this process. I don't know how interesting it would be tearing down a motor. I'm sure you can find lots of YouTube videos, whether it's a AMC 360 in this case, or you know, Chevy 350 or Ford 351. They're all relatively the same, but I wanted to say, I guess at the beginning of all of this, that my intention was to try to get this running and driving with as minimal amount of money as possible, just to clean it up with gaskets and send it down the road and see how many miles I can get out of it. I knew that down the road it was going to get a boring LS swap, but that's what my budget has, and I can't do anything fancy or crazy. And I want something that's reliable, and I can take the family up into the mountains of Colorado and have fun. So with that being said, as I started pulling apart the motor, I found more and more problems, and I'll probably cut to some photos here. I took a few photos along the way, and it was just, I can't tell, I really can't tell how many miles it truly has without going all the way down to the short block, which I'm not prepared to do. But I do know that whoever owned it did horrible oil changes. It was thick gunk inside the valve covers. The oil return passages were completely clogged in 2 cases, and so it definitely starved for oil. I mean, it to the point that when I drained the oil, I for sure found bearing material, and we're not talking just glitter in the oil. We're talking full-on gold flakes in the oil, and so this is possibly toast. I mean, it could be a savable motor you could send off and have everything cleaned up and gone through, and it would be good, but I would have to send it off. That the rebuilding heads in the short block, really just the whole long block, is above my expertise, and just slightly out of my comfort zone for kind of learning. So that's where we're at. I'm just going to take photos, shoot some video as just I kind of go along, and I'm just going to clean it up. I'm just going to make the turd shiny and see how far this motor will go, and kind of to answer that question. So any of you out there who just can't budget for a $3,000 motor rebuild and are kind of wondering, well, you know, if I spend a couple $100 in gaskets, you know, then I can get in there and just, you know, spend another, you know, $50 on cleaning material and just get in there and really clean it up. Then, you know, we'll see how far. It might get me another 20,000 miles. It might get less. I don't know. We'll just drive it till it seizes up on me, I guess. So, yeah, we'll just cut to that, and we'll show you kind of where I've gotten so far. Wasn't even sure if I was going to videotape this, but started to dive into the motor, and it is Sludge City. I mean, that is bad. Okay. So the parts bin pump's still not working, but went ahead and got some fluid to get the parts bin up and running. What am I gonna do? I don't know. I mean, I thought I would enjoy old school carbureted motor for a while before I moved on to an LS swap, because it's super easy to do. But that may come sooner than later. So one thing isn't like the others here, so that'll have to be addressed. I think I'm just going to do my best to clean it, bolt it back together, and send it. See how far it gets down the road. I'm sure I couldn't even get the rockers out. The ends of them are probably has some built up corrosion, and they just won't slide out because they're catching on the built up corrosion around the end of it. I can almost see it, I think. Yeah. I don't know if you can see it in that one. So it's, oh, that one's even a better shot. You can see how it's brown on the end of it. They're not going to come out without taking everything out and hitting them out from bottom up. So yeah, that's where we're at. I'm not even going to take the heads off. I'm just going to clean it as is and run some clean oil through it a few times and hope the oil passageways aren't so clogged that it can't get a few more miles. I mean, I think before I started this, I bought probably $150 worth of gaskets and odds and ends and stuff. So it's a shame I went that far to get all that stuff, but you know, what the hell? I'm not in a place where I can get an LS motor anyway, so I want to drive it. I bet I can get a few more miles out of it. We'll see. And I'll kind of do the best to take pictures as I go and share how it comes out. But that is what it is, right? Thanks for watching.